சிவில் சொசைட்டி ஆக்டிவிஸ்ட் மற்றும் இந்திய தேசிய காங்கிரஸை சார்ந்த திரு சச்சின் ராவ் அவர்கள் பொறுப்பாளர் காங்கிரஸ் சந்தேஷ் அகில இந்திய காங்கிரஸ் கமிட்டி.
Vanakkam, my brothers and sisters of Tamil Nadu. My name is Sachin Rao. I am a worker of the Congress Party and a believer in the Constitution. Today I'll try to take some time and share with you the story and the politics of the organization that is today destroying India's path to the Constitution. So, when we were driving from Chennai to the venue, all along the road we saw signs and we saw flags of a party whose symbol is a lotus flower. We saw flags of the BJP, we saw their signs. And we also saw the signs and flags of other parties. So if all I am to see are those signs and those flags, I might believe that the battle is against the BJP. But the BJP, but here is a story. The BJP is only a puppet. It is only a mask. The real force behind them never shows its face. This organization is called the RSS, the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. So all of these faces that you see, all of these people who claim that they are the leaders in politics of the BJP, they are only puppets in the hands of the RSS. So in this struggle for India, it is extremely important to understand this puppet master, the RSS, that is controlling all the puppets. So usually when you think about the BJP or the RSS, and you ask what is it, if you ask them what do you want, usually what they will say is we want a Hindu country, we want Hindu Bharat, we want to do good for Hindus. But they have nothing to do with Hinduism. The word Hindu for them is only a cover under which they can execute their real political agenda. To understand them, what you have to understand is they are pure colonizers. Just like the British sought to colonize India, the RSS is basically a colonizer of India. So you think about the idea of colonization for a minute. So what is the difference between a political party and a colonizer? See, a political party represents a point of view, fights for it in democracy, sometimes wins, sometimes loses, and pushes its agenda in a democracy. It will advance its agenda, but many other agendas will still be around it that it will allow and that it cannot stop. But that is not how a colonizer thinks. See, a colonizer wants complete and absolute control of everything in society. So nothing in the country should happen without their control or their approval. This is what a colonizer wants. This is how the British thought. This is exactly how the RSS thinks. So today, the domination that the RSS seeks on India is on three fronts. They want three types of domination. The first, which we see across the country, is the economic domination of the country. Any opportunity to make money, any opportunity to build a business, any opportunity to create profit, any opportunity to provide some value in society, they want that only two families get the entire benefit of that. That is economic domination. The second domination they want is social domination. What do I mean by that? Only they will decide who is patriotic, only they will decide what is right, only they will decide what we can eat, only they will decide what we can speak, only they will decide who is good and who is bad. Third type of domination that they are seeking is political domination. Political domination means any institution in society, political party, administration, police, university, any institution in society that has power, media, they want absolute control of that. So this is not a political party. No political party thinks this way. Only a colonizer of India can think this way. So now a few words about where the RSS came from. So around 100 years ago, we were living in a time of great change in India and the world. In India, after thousands of years of oppression, a large number of reformers, many of them from Tamil Nadu, who you know of, but Shahu Phule Ambedkar from Maharashtra, reformers, Ram Roy and other reformers, around the country were challenging the worst practices of Hindu society. Similarly, the Indian National Congress was leading a movement, and it's not just the Indian National Congress, Bhagat Singh was leading a revolutionary movement, and all of these movements were talking about the equality of all human beings. And in Russia, a revolution had happened that brought for the first time in history a government that sought equalities, economic equality of all human beings. This greatly disturbed those in India who had enjoyed traditional privileges for a long, long time. Brahminical forces that wanted to maintain the caste hierarchy in India and gender hierarchy in India, and large zamindars and landowners and princely states who wanted to keep India a monarchy, they came together to form what we know as the RSS. And I'll tell you one very funny thing. They claim that represent Indian tradition, but do you know where they went to study how the RSS should be shaped? They went to Italy to study Mussolini's dictatorship, and they went to Germany to study Hitlerism, and they decided this is a very good model. Both of these leaders responsible for killing millions of their countrymen were the role model for the design of the RSS. Two of their leaders, Munje and Hegdewar, went to these countries personally. See, I'm sharing this not because we want to study the RSS, but because we must know what to tell the people of Tamil Nadu when this BJP makes all of this noise. So now I'll come to some of the main principles of the RSS. These, by the way, what I'm going to tell you, they're all from a book called We and Our Nationhood Defined, which is written by one of the RSS top people of the past. His name is Golwalkar. And the RSS and our Prime Minister Modi calls this man Guruji, great teacher. Some of these things may be shocking, so I would suggest you go and read on the internet. This book is freely available. So one of the first principles is that Golwalkar taught the RSS that for any country to be strong, it can have only one land. It can't be more than one land. It can have only one race. It can have only one culture, only one religion, fourth, and only one language. Only one land, race, culture, religion, language, all five, only one can be allowed. And I'll also tell you which ones they think should be allowed in India. Race, Aryan race. Of the superior Aryan race are the only ones who should be allowed in India. This is their first point. Only one culture should be allowed according to them, and that is what they call Hindu culture. What they have decided is Hindu culture. Only one religion, and this is what they call Hinduism. I'll come to that a little later, but only Hindus are the proper residents of this country. And for all of my Tamilian friends, this is very important. Only one language, and that is Sanskrit and and the Hindi that comes from it. Golwalkar clearly says he does not regard Tamil, and even RSS will today tell you, they do not regard Tamil as an independent, historic and ancient language in its own right. They think it has simply come from Sanskrit. And he is very, very clear that because they learned from Hitler and Mussolini. Hitler and Mussolini, what did they do? Those who did not look like them, they simply put them to death or they banished them. Similarly, Golwalkar is very clear. Anyone who does not fit this idea of the perfect Indian lives there at the mercy of the majority. The majority can do with them as they like. See, now you will understand why they didn't even think it was required to speak to Tamil Nadu before imposing a language on you. Before they impose those exams on you. So now I want to especially address my SC, ST and women friends here. When these people say Hindu, 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 Golwalkar says what is a Hindu? He says two things. First, they must believe in Varnashram and hierarchy of caste. And they must learn to stay in that place. This is one line that even now it makes me wonder how he could, but this is how they think. He says, the true Hindu is the one who learns his dharma at the holy feet of the Brahmin. This is their true Hindu. Not Aryan, Brahmin. Brahmin. Holy feet of the Brahmin. These are the words he uses. So this is basically their mindset. One last point I want to make, because Golwalkar was writing, like I said, at a time when there were so many reformers giving their lives. Savitribai Phule was thrown stones when she tried to educate children, women. So there were so many reformers giving their life to reform the worst practices of Hinduism. So the statement he makes there is that all of these people are simply defaming Hinduism. And he says these so-called social evils, caste, in his mind, he says these so-called social evils do not matter as long as India is victorious and glorious. So, you may then ask, you may wonder, that doesn't look right, because you see they have made some president as a tribal and one president as Dalit. So you may ask me, or many of their leaders are from these communities, from BJP. So we say, no, they must have changed. No. See, if you now go to the RSS, all of this happens in the mask of the BJP. The RSS is almost completely Brahmin, and their topmost decision-making body, it's called the Pratinidhi Sabha, has only one non-Brahmin in it. And no Dalit, OBC, minority, of course. So, I should also point out to the women that women are not even allowed to become members of this organization. Only male organization. Running our country, only male. 50% people of this country cannot even become a member of the RSS. Forget leadership, member is also not possible. So, obviously, with an organization like this, you can imagine how they reacted to the constitution. They hated it. So when the constitution, Indian constitution, was finally released, in their mouthpiece, in their magazine, they wrote an article basically accusing this constitution of being foreign, saying that India needed no constitution because we already had the great constitution of Manu Smriti. So now I want to just point out quickly, around 10 minutes more I'll take, just to point out the major political tactics used by the RSS and the BJP. My first point is, see, any organization like the RSS that essentially wants to capture power and keep it with a few, they love the caste system. It was made for people like them. They will never have an interest in changing the caste system, because it is perfect for what they want in this country. So I'll just share with you some of the usual tactics they use to stall and sabotage our progress to the constitution. First, they try to get us to deny or not even recognize that caste is a problem. This explains why they will never ever support caste census. This is why your Prime Minister says that poverty is the only caste. Yes. This is why we now no longer collect good data on caste-based violence. This is why you have one group led by a BJP leader, one Dalit group led by a BJP leader in Tamil Nadu, that is seeking to say that we are no longer oppressed and please take back our reservation. So this is all collectively to get us to deny that caste is a problem. The second strategy is to divide all of those who are fighting. All of those who are fighting against caste or fighting against oppression. Hindu-Muslim fight is very well known. But let me tell you that now what they have started around the country is to get Christian and non-Christian, Dalits and Adivasis to fight each other. Right? This is how they dilute our strength. The third strategy is systematically dilute the provisions meant for social justice. I won't repeat much of this. I think Rajuji has covered this reservation issue in the morning. But I want to add just one point, one important point to this. I want to bring up the EWS quota. Was that spoken about, sir? Did you mention that? Okay. So now what they have done is, for the first time in Indian history, in Indian constitutional history, we have 10% of jobs reserved for only Savarnas. So fourth strategy they use is satisfy us with symbolism. So every time the RSS builds a statue of some leader, you have to begin to understand that that leader's idea is going to be killed in this country. So the moment they started picking up an Ambedkar photograph and started touring the country, I understood now Dalits are going to be under attack. So you have to be very careful of this. Last thing I wanted to mention in this strategies is they satisfy, which I just mentioned. They want to satisfy us with positions that have no power in them. Power. So I just want to end with just two thoughts. One thought is that in this struggle, one of the biggest failings, and this one message I want to leave behind, two messages I want to leave behind. One message is that in this struggle, one of our biggest problems right now is each and every group, Muslims, Dalits, Adivasis, women, OBC, we are all laborers, we are all seeing it only from our perspective. And we have got to understand that dignity, the Constitution promises dignity to everybody. Why? Because it realizes that the moment you deny anybody dignity, our own dignity is at risk. So it will be very, very important that we all become soldiers for every attack on dignity. Our greatest work will of course be in the community that we are with. But if when a Muslim is attacked, we are silent. When a woman is raped, we are silent. If when an Adivasi is stripped, we are silent. If land is taken away from farmers without compensation, we are silent. Then remember that when we ask for our own dignity, it will not be respected. The second thought I want to leave with you is something that we can learn from the RSS. It is that their best workers are committed to spending a lifetime among even people they hate. And they are very serious in their politics, and we will also have to be as serious to save this country. Their politics is not in the big Satyamurthy Bhavans, Rajiv Bhavans, Gandhi Bhavans. It is among the people. Even if they poison the minds of the people and spread hate, they are among the people. And I must point out, the RSS learned this from the Congress. So they didn't invent it. All I'm saying is we have to go back to our roots if we have to be able to fight them. Last thing I'd like to say is a statement by Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar. Someone asked him about Hindu Raj, and he said, in Annihilation of Caste actually, he has written this: Hindu Raj is a mad idea. There can be no greater disaster for India. You must please keep this in mind. So as days go by, when you will see more and more of these people among you, I hope you will ask them some of these questions. You can ask them, will you please come and burn the Manusmriti with me? Will you please come and deny that Golwalkar is your Guruji? You can ask them these questions. You can ask them to explain why is it that there is not a single woman in that organization that controls you? Why is it that no Dalit or Tamil, why is it that you will not recognize Tamil as independent? Start asking them these questions. From the bottom of my heart, I thank the SC Department Chairperson, the entire Tamil Nadu PC President and the entire committee, Rajesh Ilotia Saab for having thought of me and calling me, and of course Rajuji, who continues to be an inspiration, and my brother Senthil for doing such an amazing job with the translation, and to all of you for listening to me patiently. Vanakkam, all the best. Jai Bhim, Jai Jagat, Jai Congress. Thank you.
Senior man. Sir, 2 minutes. ராஜ்யசபா